Donnie and Dolly, the team is supported by ableauctions.ca. Closing your business? We can help.
All right. I'm just getting ripped about my Tiger knowledge, which apparently isn't all that good.
Orange, black, and white for the Bengal Tiger. Okay. Sorry, Donnie.
I thought they were just white and black. This is it the Siberian tiger that's white and black? Okay. Snow tiger. There you go. All right, it's all clear. People can stop with the Delaney's OK Tire and Langley inbox. I stand corrected. All right. What are we doing here, Ryan? We're waiting for Craig Button. All of our guests today, that's on this Tuesday, are brought to you by the Bayside Oceanfront Resort. Located oceanside in beautiful Parksville, the Bayside Resort is one of Vancouver Island's premier getaway spots. Call now to book your reservation and mention Donnie and Dolly for 10% off your nightly room rate. Book your island getaway today at BaysideOceanfrontResort.com or call 250-248-8333. Have we got Craig yet? Not yet. No. TSN Scouting Director Craig Button. We hope to be joined by him in a matter of moments. And we were talking in the break, Rick, about what Ian Furness had to say about Jake Virtanen.
Right.
Ian went to last night's Kraken-Edmonton game, won 3-0 by the Kraken.
Right.
There were some reports afterwards, and this wasn't just about the Kraken game when it comes to the Oilers. It was about the game the night before against the Jets. Jake Virtanen wearing number 19, which I think Sven Budensjön used to wear for the Oilers.
The coach of the UBC Thunderbirds.
You can't put anything past you.
Good guy.
Amazing. That he didn't look all that good.
Yeah.
Ian Furness just told us moments ago, and again, at the game, saying, you know what? There's something there. He got about 13, 14 minutes in both games, some power play time as well. I believe a total of 7 to 8 shot attempts over the two games.
Yep.
So, conflicting reports there. We'll see what Craig has to say, because Craig, I believe, was at the Jets-Oilers game 2 nights ago.
Right.
So we got Craig? Yeah. Okay. We're joined now by TSN Scouting Director Craig Button. You were at that. Hi, Craig. Glad you could join us. TSN Scouting Director Craig Button, you were at that Jets-Oilers game. I saw something tweeted out. What did you see in Jake Virtanen in that game?
To be straightforward with you, not very much.
Okay.
I think that when Jake's at his best, he's skating and he's impacting the game with the speed and trying to close on opponents, and then using that physical element to really separate and to make his presence known. And I don't think that there was only one time that I noticed Jake Virtanen. He got the puck kind of at the top of the circle, and Jake has an excellent shot, and he tried to make a pass. Other than that, I think he was very unnoticeable with respect to, having any type of dent into the game, because I think that what the Edmonton Oilers or any team would be looking for from Jake is that skating, that physical catalyst, opening up the ice, making opponents uncomfortable. I didn't see any of that.
Is there, as a former GM, is there a grace period there for him, given all that he's gone through?
I think that Ken Holland and his group know what Jake is capable of doing when he's playing well. So I think that's the benefit for Jake, is being able to know that a management group and a coaching staff has that understanding. But when you come in on a PTO, you have to really show those capabilities. So, as opposed to a younger player that might not have the same type of mileage on his tires, so to speak. Jake will get a little bit of a grace period, but he doesn't have much time to show what he can add to that team, and by extension, earn a contract.
Craig, you tackled this subject yesterday on TSN, if I'm not mistaken. Is the Canucks, as we switch to the Canucks here, is the Canucks forward group and is their goaltending good enough to make up by what's being offered up on the blue line?
I think it is. And I think Donnie And Rick, if we look back to last year under Bruce Boudreau, in 57 games, I mean, they were just about on a 106-point pace over a full season. So I think Bruce is very clear on what the strengths of his team are. I think Travis Green was very clear on what the strengths of the Vancouver Canucks were. I think the difference is that Travis was trying to protect the weakness at the expense of his strength, and that really hurt everybody. Bruce says, hey, we got a goaltender. We can use the proverbial safety net, but he's an elite goaltender. You have Quinn Hughes, an elite number one defenseman, and then you have that forward group, which I think is outstanding. So, if you're going to try to play defense and lock it down and try to limit scoring chances, I don't like your successes. So if you got to win games 7-4, go for it, because I think that's the strength of the Vancouver Canucks. And based on what Bruce showed last year from the time he took over, because when he took over, this team was dead in the water. Mm-hmm. I mean, there was nothing there. I mean, the hopes for this team had basically vanished. He came in and he really instilled a wonderful spirit in them. Got the fan base back on board with being excited about watching them. And I think Bruce has shown that he can take a strength and maximize it. So do I think that they're capable of making the playoffs playing that way? Yeah, I do. The question always is, can you go deeper into the playoffs? Can you win a playoff round without some sound defense? The Vancouver Canucks a few years back, won a playoff round, took Vegas to Game 7 in the bubble. Their defense wasn't great. Obviously, the goaltending was, but I think they have enough to be in a playoff fight this coming season.
Craig, you did your draft stuff last week. We got a kid from North Van, Bedard. Everyone's talking about him. Who's going to get him? Who's going to tank to get him? Just give us your opinion of this kid. He's a franchise player. He's a game changer. What are your views on him heading into his draft year?
Well, Rick, you touched on two things. He is a franchise player and he's a game changer. And, in his first two games in Regina on the weekend, I mean, he had 10 shots in the first game and didn't score a goal or have a point. In the second game, he had 9 shots and had a hat trick and 1 assist. He's not surrounded by an abundance of skill and talent in Regina. So when we talk about a game changer, Connor is exactly that. And when he gets around better players, he's only going to extend the impact of his talents and his drive and determination. And I think people use generational. I don't see him as a generational player. I think we got to reserve that for the very special. But I think that he is a franchise player, and I think he can change the fortunes of whatever franchise gets him in the NHL, because the skill is magnificent. His ability to impact the game is significant. And again, as you build around him and you add skill and you add talent around him, I think that only becomes more impactful as time goes on and the skill and quality of talent around him increases. So, I mean, there's every reason when you get a player of this magnitude coming into the draft, and if you're going to be at the bottom of the league, you want to make sure that you give yourself a shot at winning the lottery and getting Connor Bedard, because he is a game changer. Absolutely.
Lots of talk about John Tortorella last week, Craig. Bag skates, guys puking, guys lying on the ice. Not every coach is doing it. We're not seeing it right across the league. Your thoughts on what he's trying to establish and set in Philadelphia?
Yeah, I mean, it's a great question, right? What is John exactly trying to establish? I mean, in the summer when he took over the job, he talked about, the team had to be in better shape. I mean, I think most coaches, when they take over a team, they always complain about the conditioning level of their group. He also talked about, within the room, they have to be more accountable. So, John went in there, and in John fashion, he established that he is going to run the show, and he's going to run the show according to what he believes they need at any moment in time. We can all debate whether it's appropriate or whether it's inappropriate. Whatever angle you want to take, I think with John, it's very clear that he wants to create an environment, whether it's that environment, there's different ways to build a team and to build, that what I call the esprit de corps. Sometimes it's by creating an environment where the players are just so resentful of what the coach is doing, that they just band together. And I think that John has taken a tack that says, hey, here's what I think you guys need, and here's what we're going to do. And it's going to be hard and it's going to be demanding, and we're going to see what you're made of. Because, John, even and like any coach, when you're looking at it from the outside, you don't really have a full understanding of what it's like inside. So, this is his way of finding out, how far he can push the players, how much the players are willing to dig in. And, certainly at the beginning of training camp, some of the videos and some of the pictures weren't ones that were really appealing. But I think that John knows that. And I think John is trying to build something in Philadelphia. Because the one thing that I will say about the Philadelphia Flyers over the last number of the years, they don't have any identity. Yeah. So right now, I think John wants to build that within the group, and these are the methods that he's using.
He's kind of the star there right now. Yeah. Hey, Craig, thanks for this. We sure appreciate it. We'll talk to you next Tuesday.
Yeah, thanks, you guys. Have a great day.
You bet.